So I'm 5'7". So it doesn't
really.
Yeah.
You have a taller presence than that.
Thanks. And so it doesn't, on Tinder you don't put your height, and I don't think on Bumble, I think you can on Bumble, but on Hinge I don't think it's there. But like
Hinge is on there. Yeah.
It is? Okay. Well, a lot of dating apps, like it's either optional or you don't have to, and I just don't include it because I don't like, it's on one more reason to say no, because I feel like my personality, I'm like, I believe in myself, right? I feel like if someone meets me, there's a decent chance we'll get along. And I found that to be true. I have had, and so for example, this girl that I went to Mexico with, I met her on IG and she had no idea like how tall I was, but apparently she thought I was a lot taller. She's
6'7".
She's 5'11".
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so she,
how's that first meeting?
When we kissed, it looked like a mama bird feeding its baby.
Well, that wasn't the first meeting. So did you notice anything on her face when you saw her first that she was like,
No, not at all.
Okay.
But she did bring it up.
Okay.
She brought it up. I asked her like some sort of question like,
what do you say in that? I'm sure this is something that guys have asked. I'm 6 feet tall. It has not come up, so I don't have good advice.
Yeah. I just don't say, I just like make fun of it.
Okay, so she brings it up.
Yeah.
She goes,
what did she say?
Wow,
give us a little play-by-play.
You're shorter than I expected.
Well, what she said was, I just wish you were eye level at least. That was like what she said to me.
Yeah.
But she's like a really ruthlessly funny kind of girl where she said it in a non-offensive way.
Yeah.
But she had the balls, like I'm sure a lot of women are thinking it.
Yeah.
But she had like the balls to say it, you know? And we talked about it for a bit. I asked her like genuinely, like, is this something that bothers you? And she's like, up until I met you, yes. And like, but after meeting you, it changed my mind a little bit, but it still does bother me to a degree.
So what you kind of had in that moment was non-defensive-ness, non-reactive. Like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Does that bother you?
It's interesting is actually the perfect way. Yeah. Just, interesting. Yeah.
Got it. So it sounds like it didn't affect your self-valuation, and she could read that off of you, and then that is attractive in and of itself.
Yeah. I used to be super insecure about my height, and I had
Is there anything that somebody can do? I guess everybody has their thing that they're insecure about.
Yeah.
How does somebody, in your estimation?
Just if you can't change it, just don't.
And it seems to me it's just kind of time. Like somebody's mean to you and you wake up the next morning and you're like, well, still here. You know what I mean? Like,
but also like I'm sure I've missed out on opportunities because of my height, but focusing on that would have made me also miss out on a ton of other opportunities.
Sure.
But also like, I honestly have never consciously been aware of an opportunity that was missed because of it. Like never. So I don't know.
Yeah. So who cares?
It hasn't really impacted me. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You have enough money to blow it on Conor McGregor's mansion.
Yeah.
Why do you still work? You have simple pickup money, jump cut money. Like at some point, do you think you'll stop and focus on other stuff?
That's what I did for 2 years, like essentially, like was that. But then the reason I made Endless Options, dude, once like I learned all this shit with David, I didn't want to work. So I would be calling every person I knew in the dating industry that was still like actively doing this. I think I even talked to you guys about this. I was like, someone needs to make a product.
I think you
did.
Yeah. I was like trying to convince like all these people to do it, and everyone was just like, oh, sounds cool, but no. And eventually got to the point where I was just like, the world just needs it. And that might sound like fake or gimmicky, but the reality is that was a huge part of it. Just like, this needs to be taught. Why not turn it into a business so that I can expense everything that I did for the life? And yeah, I mean, that was like part of the thinking, just like the world needs this. And like, I'm so passionate about it. I could teach this effectively.
It's already been profitable.
It was a Flower Child.
Write-offs.
You were like, dude, you guys have to do this. We're like, no, this isn't us.
No, I had that conversation with like 30 people, and almost everyone and I thought it was because it was a bad idea. So it was either like, this is genius, or people have already tried and it's just proven to not work.
I do think you're the perfect spokesperson for it though. For like 5'7", brown skinned, you can answer all of the but objections.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
The first sentence in the marketing video is, online dating never worked for me. At first I thought it was because I was too ugly. Like that's the first sentence. And so like it immediately sets the tone of like, if I can do it, so can you type of thing. Yeah.
No, I think you're great for it, because the one thing that's funny is you always refer to David as your ugliest student, which is hilarious because he's a jacked 6 foot tall white guy. Like
he's balding. He's actually been called ugly by quite a few girls because of his schnoz and his balding.
He's 6 feet tall and yoked though. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see people would have objections for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Be like, well, I can see it working for you because you're 6 feet tall. And
shirtless photo of David's.
Exactly.
It's nice.
He's 8-pack.
Yeah.
But with me, there's definitely an intrigue factor of like, wait, like how is that possible?
Man. People understand whether you're white or Indian or Asian of any kind, that the stat that you said, which is that Asian men have a more difficult time in online dating. So I actually have, before I hop into my other question, which is completely out of left field, have you found that to be as true online as offline? Is the one different? Like, because there is.
Yes, I have.
Oh, like I guess is it primarily with white women? Is it Asian women as well have that same? I don't know if it's prejudice or.
So for real life, it's easier for me at least, to spark attraction before I did all the stuff to optimize my online dating profile. But now that I've done that, it's like 1,000 times easier online.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to say this in like in the least douchey way possible, but like everyone's attracted to like what they're attracted to. And personally, the type of the woman that I'm attracted to is not the type of woman that society would normally see with a guy like me. Like that's just the reality. Right. And so if I was trying to figure out how to leverage the internet to do this, if Asians are like statistically less likely to date anyone using online dating, how would I be dating quote unquote models, right? And once I realized it was just a game of social value and displaying it properly and showing that you're like a successful, ambitious person that has like wit or whatever, then it became very, very, very easy. But I would say for most guys that don't understand that, it's like you would just go online and just realize that this doesn't work for you.
Yeah. And what's interesting is your photos. So you had said show your wealth or your ambition or whatever. Yeah. Your photos are not you with Maseratis, which is what I thought they might be. It's you leaning on a pool table.
Yeah.
And then you just behind with nothing background. You know what I mean? So like because people listening to this might be like, I don't have this kind of wealth.
No, there's nothing in your profile.
Yeah, I was surprised. There's no.
This is part of the filtering.
There's no Maserati.
Yeah, this is part of the filtering. Like I want people to like pick up on the subtleties of just like this is a successful person, because I have like founder at Jump Cut, but I also talk about like I've been traveling for 2 years because I've built a business and I've worked and earned like the ability to do this. So those types of things, and like the right type of person will read that and be like, oh, okay, so he's successful.
Sure. It just doesn't look like a Ty Lopez ad.
Totally.
It's not you in your garage with your Ferrari.
Exactly.
This is a gimme question, and I know the answer, I think, but if you lean on that social value, even in the way that you did, are you getting people that are coattail riders? Because you're like, oh, that's a rocket ship. I want to ride his coattails. Does that happen, and is that a concern?
No, I think that if someone can recognize the value of like interacting and filtering for people that are successful, that's like really smart thing to do. Like if you're a girl and you are trying to figure out who to date, why not filter for people that are smart, ambitious, successful, right? And if you're a man, why not make your profile come across as someone who is that type? So I just think like, sure, that's true, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Got it.
Yeah. As long as like, it can be a bad thing if you do it in the wrong way. Like for example, those parties, that was like a similar thing, except the way that it was done attracted essentially gold diggers.
Yeah, well, right? And I think the punchline is if you're looking for your wife, 19-year-old girl that's going to the club every day, it's just like,
exactly.
probably not your girl.
Exactly.
At this point in time.
Exactly. Yeah.